Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of April 10th, 2017. Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Colella. Council Magno.
Here.
Dixon.
Here.
Gibbons. Here. Hannon.
Present.
Harrison. McLean.
Here.
Maury.
Here.
O'Brien.
We have 7 members present. At this time, I would like to introduce Boy Scout Troop number 215 from Bethel Presbyterian Church. Will do the flag ceremony.
Can everyone please rise? Color guard advance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to turn to chair announcements. An executive session of council was conducted on Monday, March 27, 2017, discuss personnel matters. And tonight, before we came out, April 10, 2017, to discuss personnel matters. This time, I'd like to turn to the reports of the officials and the library director's report.
Good evening. My name is Christine. I am the director of Your Public Library, where we provide services to inform, inspire, and enrich the community. This is National Library Week, April 9th through the 15th, which is a national observance by libraries across the country every April as a time to celebrate the contributions of our nation's libraries and librarians and to promote library use and support. So in that vein, we will have guided library tours on Wednesday, April 12th at 2 p.m. and again Thursday, April 13th at 7. Rob, one of our librarians, will take you around to tour both the physical and virtual library and he'll help you get acquainted with our services. Just as a side note, our Bethel Park Library patrons are the 4th largest group of downloadable ebook users of the 70-plus locations in Allegheny County, borrowing just over 33,000 ebooks last year. That only represents 10% of our circulation, though, so of our total borrowing. So the print book is not dead. Few programs, classes of interest. We have The Cloud Explained on Tuesday, April 18th at 10 a.m. This is where we'll cover the basics of the cloud, tell you what it is and how you can get your own free cloud. Seating is limited. We ask that you do register. For our homeschool community, we have quarterly homeschool days at the library, and the next one is Thursday, April 20th. We will have an art class at noon for grades K through 4, where you'll learn a new watercolor technique, a science class at 1 p.m. for grades 2 through 4 to learn about motion and force by designing your own racers and leak-proof bags. I don't know what they're going to do with those, but an astronomy class at 2 p.m. for grades 2 through 5 where you'll learn about the phases of the moon, types of stars, and you will make your own name constellation. There are a few fundraisers coming up at the library. We have an evening with Reverend Dr. Debbie Packler on Thursday, April 27th at 7 p.m. This fundraiser will be hosted at the community center. Tickets are $25 and are available at the library or through the library's website. And the library's annual book sale is coming up. We have preview night Thursday, April 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. It's $25 to get in, but you get first crack at everything that's for sale. The regular book sale will take place Friday and Saturday, April 21st and 22nd from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. Items for sale range from 50 cents to $2. And then on Sunday, April 23rd, we have our bag sale that takes place from 1 to 5. You pay $5. We give you a big brown, old, the grocery sacks, and you can fill it with whatever you want from the sale. And then, on behalf of BPTV, as a producer and a member of our ad hoc fundraising committee, BPTV is hosting a designer bag bingo on Friday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, at 7 p.m. at the community center. Proceeds benefit the BPTV Volunteer Scholarship Fund, so come on out and have some fun with us. The library will be closed on Sunday, April 16th in honor of Easter. We will open Monday at 9, and we do not charge late fees when the library is closed. So, phew,
That was a lot.
that was a lot.
Any questions? Hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to turn to the police chief's report and Chief O'Connor.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you. Hi, everybody. Chief here. I'd like to just acknowledge some people tonight. First of all, we have our 3 civil service commissioners here, Mr. Denson, Terry Capristro, and Mr. Will. If you want to stand up or raise your hands. They're here tonight because we're going to be hiring an officer, and they put a lot of time in. There's a lot of time and effort that goes into getting a civil service list and the hiring process, and they put in a lot of their time in the evenings and that, and we're grateful. So thank you, all 3 of you, thank you. We also want to acknowledge one of our own, Bethel Park Police Department Officer Robert Musner. He's not here? Officer Musner is a member of the United States Army National Guard, and he was just recently promoted to the rank of Major. So I'd like a round of applause for Officer Musner. Thank you. And the last person we are going to recognize tonight is Officer David Tapa, badge 109. Please come up, David. 109. Police work is very serious at times, and most of it is very mundane, very routine, but occasionally things happen. And in January, we had the Brentwood Bank robbed. We had it robbed for the 2nd time in a week. And Officer DeTapa responded and single-handedly captured the bank robber, who I am also told now is being charged by the FBI for the first robbery, in addition to the second one. So we wanted to recognize Officer DeTapa, and we have going to present him tonight with our Distinguished Service Medal. And here's his citation: for exceptionally meritorious service while assigned to a robbery deterrence detail. On January 25th, 2017, Officer DeTapa responded to an armed bank robbery in progress. His quick actions led to the rapid apprehension of the suspect, a violent career criminal suspected of a series of armed bank robberies. Officer DeTapa's calm demeanor and outstanding performance were vital to the safe and effective resolution of this potentially lethal incident. His contributions and dedications to duty are in keeping with the finest traditions of the Bethel Park Police Department and reflect great credit upon himself, the Bravo Squad, the Patrol Division, and the municipality of Bethel Park. So we're going to present this citation to you. And along with the citation, he does receive a medal that he can wear on his uniform, so we're going to present this to him also. Okay. Thank you.
He ran away. Maybe he wanted to say a few words.
He was prohibited. So we also have some of our staff here, and from the magistrate's office and the chief's office, and Janet, who was our records clerk. They turned out to see Dave, and in the back row we have some of Bethel Park's finest that came up to see this also. Thank you guys for all coming, and everybody. Thank you. All right. Follow us on Facebook. Crime Watch, Monday, May the 1st, Community Center, 6:30. Be there. Questions?
Any questions? Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you to everybody that, I just want to say thanks on behalf of all the residents, the entire police department for protecting us. I know it seems like we read a lot in the papers about what's going on, but we're very proud to have you represent us. And it seems like we had another incident most recently in South Park Township where the Bethel Park Police Department apprehended the people that robbed the restaurant. So we do thank you on behalf of all the residents of Bethel Park for your service. Thank you. At this time, can we turn to the fire chief's report?
Good evening, everyone. Well, that's a tough act to follow, but I'd also echo that fire department enjoys working hand in hand a lot of times with the police department, and they are a fine group of men and women that we are able to deal with. Before I give you the monthly report for the month of March, just a couple items the chief wanted me to touch base on. One follow-up from last month. We did spring ahead, so we changed our clocks. Reminded you last month to try to remember to change your batteries in the smoke detectors and the CO alarms. So if you haven't, just a general reminder to please get that done. They do save lives. That we are getting into spring, the chief wanted me to remind everybody, you want to be careful where you store your gasoline. You want to store it in gasoline and fuels that you use for your lawnmowers, tractors, weed eaters, in approved containers. Don't store them in the garage. You want to store them away from any buildings, mainly your home. Keep an eye on them, not only the tanks that you store the fuel in, but your lawnmowers, your tractors and so forth, to be aware of any deterioration, any leaks. It's this time of year we end up getting a lot of gasoline odor calls. A lot of times it's determined it's in the garage. You're just getting your mower out for the first time. They do spill some stuff. So just be careful. The other item was, again, coming into the spring and summer, we're going to start grilling again. Be sure only to grill outdoors. You want to grill away from the house, the deck railings, the eaves in the house. We unfortunately have had incidents where folks had their grills a little too close to the house, and fires do occur. And want to keep your children and your pets minimum of 3 feet away. The greater the distance, the safer. And the last item, don't leave your grill unattended. And the month of March, total of 41 fire calls for us. Break them down real quick. We had 2 building fires, 2 gas leaks, 1 illegal burn, 1 hazmat investigation, turned out not to be a hazmat incident, 1 electrical condition, 3 calls where we had down power lines, 3 calls where we assisted our police department, 2 calls where we were dispatched and actually canceled en route for one reason or the other, 4 odor or smoke investigations, and finally our bulk of the calls are typically our fire alarms. And that totals up to 41 for the month of March. And actually that's all I have, unless there are any questions at all.
Any questions? Hearing none, thank you very much. If we can turn to the mayor's report, and Mayor Allen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dave, I'm not going to be as easy on you as the chief was. But first I want to thank Boy Scout Troop 215 for doing the flag ceremony tonight. We've done that in years past, but it's nice to bring that program back. So thank you for doing that, and welcome to the council meeting. Okay, the chief talked about Dave. Now, as a municipality, we would also like to recognize Dave for the heroics that he had that day over in Brentwood. And Chief, he will say a few words. So we have a certificate of recognition from the municipality, and it's presented to David DeTapa for your dedication to the Bethel Park community, awarded this 10th day of April, 2017. So, thank you very much. Thank you. say a few words.
Thank you very much.
That was a little more than a few, but not many. So, I just had a few items tonight. The first one I want to mention, that's spring cleaning or cleanup, is April 22nd. And this Friday is the last day to register. Janet Davin sitting here. Her number is 831-6800, extension 211. We have about 20 properties that are already accounted for, but we still need some more volunteers. So if you can call Janet by this Friday, we supply the vests, the bags. You just need to show up with the manpower or woman power in your group, whatever the group may be. If the scouts are available that day, we can certainly put you to work somewhere. The other program that we have that's also has a deadline of April 14th is our military banner program. So far we have about 50 new ones to put up this year, so that's 25 brackets. This Friday, well, it's actually the 15th, but well, you may have to get it in, well, we'll wait till Monday. We'll make an executive decision that you'll have until next Monday, a week from today, April 17th, to bring you could either do it online on the American Legion website, or you can pick up an application in the office here. It's $100 for the banner, and the banner will be up year after year after year. Or if you're a member, if you're a veteran or a member of the American Legion, it'll be $80. So the program is, hopefully we'll run out of roads. But the program is probably the largest one in Western Pennsylvania. Also, I mentioned a couple months ago the flower bed project that we're working on. Again, Janet and I will be this week assigning some of the flower beds, but we're going to have about 2 or 3 left. So if there's any organization that wants to take care of a flower bed, just let Janet know, 831-6800, extension 211. And we'll supply the mulch, the flowers. All you have to do is show up to weed the area, plant the flowers, and so on. So it's a good program. Actually, this was brought to my attention today that Wednesday, April 12th, marks the 20th anniversary of the first high school state champion for the Bethel Park hockey team. Bethel Park defeated Malvern Prep by a score of 4-3, and the game was held in Westchester, PA. They finished that season with a record of 25-0-1. And I'm not sure who the tie was, but the head coach that year was Bob Kennedy. The assistant coaches were Chris Stern and the current head coach, Jim McVeigh. Kathy Santor was the team manager, and that was the first Bethel Park team to win the state, and they went on to win 4 more after that. So it's hard to believe it was 20 years ago, but so I want to congratulate that team. And the last thing I have was, I mentioned last month about our Shade Tree Commission that we were trying to put together. We're still in need of volunteers. We probably have about 3 or 4 people right now. We'd like to get a couple more, and we'll make this the shady side of the South Hills. So, and that's my report.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Any comments? Hearing none, thank you very much, Mayor Ellen. At this time, I'd like to turn to the approval of the minutes, and Mr. Hannon.
First one is the regular council meeting on March 13th. I move that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of March 13th, 2017.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of March 13, 2017. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Counsel Magno?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons? Yes. Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Hannon.
The next minutes is a public hearing of abatement of a nuisance, 4471 to 4473 3rd Street. I move that we approve the public hearing minutes of February 27th, 2017, abatement of nuisance, 4471 to 4473 3rd Street, Bethel Park, PA, parcel ID number 317F-84.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the public hearing minutes of February 27th, 2017, abatement of nuisance, 4471 to 4473 3rd Street, Bethel Park, PA, parcel ID number 317-F-84. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Hannon.
Next item is a special meeting and abatement of the nuisance, 4471 to 4473 3rd Street. I move that we approve the special meeting minutes of February 27th, 2017, abatement of nuisance, 4471 to 4473 3rd Street, Bethel Park, PA, parcel ID number 317-F-84.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the special meeting minutes of February 27th, 2017, abatement of nuisance, 4471-4473 3rd Street, Bethel Park, PA, parcel ID number 317-F-84. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0. Mr. Hannon.
Next item is minutes for a public hearing, application number 2016-0681, Bethel Park High School sign, conditional use. I move that we approve the public hearing minutes of February 27th, 2017, application number 2016-0681, Bethel Park High School sign, conditional use.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the public hearing minutes of February 27th, 2017, application number 2016-0681. That's 216-0681, Bethel Park High School sign, conditional use. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Cannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr.
The
Hannon.
next set of minutes is the public hearing, application number 2016-0851, intermunicipality transfer of liquor license, 4599 Library Road. I move that we approve the public hearing minutes of February 27th, 2017, application number 2016-0851, intermunicipality transfer of liquor license, Flaherty and O'Hara, care of Sheets Incorporated.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the public hearing minutes of February 27, 2017, application number 2016-0851, intermunicipality transfer liquor license, Flaherty and O'Hara, care of Sheets, Inc. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Hannon.
The next set of minutes is the public hearing of the proposed zoning ordinance modification, medical marijuana facilities. I move that we approve the public hearing minutes of February 27th, 2017, proposed zoning ordinance modification, medical marijuana facilities.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the public hearing minutes of February 27, 2017, proposed zoning ordinance modification, medical marijuana facilities. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to approval of the bills and payrolls. Mr.
I
Hannon.
move that we approve the bills and payrolls for municipality per bill list number 041017 in the amount of $1,431,994.37.
Second.
There's a motion and second that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 041017 in the amount of $1,431,994.37. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to the resident comment section. If anybody would like to get up and speak for non-agenda items. Hearing none, can we turn to general policy and finance and Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Mr. President. First item on the agenda under General Policy and Finance is employment of police officer. I move that we hire Jeffrey Blasco as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated April 5, 2017.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we hire Jeffrey Blasco as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated April 5th, 2017. I too would like to thank Civil Service. I know this process began probably almost a year ago, maybe 8-9 months ago, but we appreciate your time and effort in helping establish the list we received tonight. Our police are hired through the Civil Service Commission. They gave us a recommendation of a list of candidates of 3, and we're required to hire 1 officer off of this list. So is there any other discussion from council? Hearing none, Ms. Miller, can you please call the roll?
Counsel Magno?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is an ordinance for a referendum to amend the Home Rule Charter. I move that we approve the ordinance initiating a referendum to amend the Home Rule Charter to establish 1, the time of commencement of council terms, 2, the date for submittal of the municipal capital budget, 3, the date for submittal of the preliminary municipal budget, and 4, the terms under which the comprehensive plan shall be reviewed and updated.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the ordinance initiating a referendum to amend the Home Rule Charter to establish 1, the time of the commencement of council terms, 2, the date for submittal of the municipal capital budget, 3, the date of submittal for the preliminary municipal budget, and 4, the terms under which the comprehensive plan shall be reviewed and updated. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Maury?
Mr. McLean.
I just wanted to explain to everyone that this ordinance that we're adopting tonight is to place on the ballot for next November several of the recommendations that came out of the Home Rule Study Commission. These deal with what you can consider the more procedural aspects, that the time at which our organizational meeting will take place. The charter currently says 8 o'clock. We usually start our meetings earlier than that, so it's that simple of a change. We're also changing the dates on which we receive from the financial director our budgets and capital budgets to allow more time to occur during the year before we receive them. So it's a proposal to change those dates. And then finally, the time interval within which the comprehensive plan is done by the Planning Commission, currently 5 years. This is a proposal to change it to 10. In order for the Home Rule Charter to be amended, it must be adopted by the voters at an election. So the purpose of this ordinance tonight is to place these questions on the ballot next November so that the voters can vote either in favor or against the proposed changes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. McLean. I'm certain we'll be talking about these questions over the next several months, but this is the start of the process to put the questions on the ballot, and they'll appear in November. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons? Yes. Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
Counsel Magno?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is ordinance for the solicitor's permit ordinance. I move that we approve the ordinance which amends ordinance 11/12-90B by providing for solicitation time restrictions and no solicitation provisions.
Second.
There's a motion and second that we approve the ordinance which amends the ordinance 11/12-90B by providing the solicitation time restrictions and non-solicitation provisions. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
Counsel Magno?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
There are no further agenda items under general policy and finance.
Are there any additional? Hearing none, can we turn to planning and zoning? And Mr. Dixon, we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have several items tonight. The first is a resolution, application number 2017-0095, transfer of liquor license agreement, 4607 Library Road. I move that we adopt the resolution approving the request of Manhattan Concepts, LLC, to transfer a liquor license from Rear 3410 William Penn Highway Pittsburgh, PA 15235, and used at 4607 Library Road, Bethel Park, PA.
Second.
There's a motion and second that we adopt a resolution approving the request of Manhattan Concepts LLC to transfer a liquor license from Rear 3410 William Penn Highway, Pittsburgh, PA 15235, and used at 4607 Library Road, Bethel Park, PA. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Dixon.
We have another resolution. Gaming Economic Development Fund, GEDF grant, Simmons Park Development Project. I move that we adopt a resolution authorizing the manager of the municipality of Bethel Park to file a grant application for a Gaming Economic Development Fund grant to fund improvements to Simmons Park.
There's a motion and second that we adopt a resolution authorizing the manager of the municipality of Bethel Park to file a grant application for Gaming Economic Development Fund grant to fund improvements in Simmons Park. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons. Hannon.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Dixon.
Our third and final item of this evening is Brightwood Road and South Park Road intersection improvements. I move that we award the Automated Red Light Enforcement Program Traffic Signal Improvement Project at the intersection of Brightwood Road and South Park Road for the base bid in the amount of $264,506.21 to Traffic Systems and Services.
There's a motion and a second that we award the Automated Red Light Enforcement Program Traffic Signal Improvement Project at the intersection of Brightwood Road and South Park Road for the base bid in the amount of $264,506.21 to Traffic Systems and Services. Any discussion of this item? Ms. Miller, would you please call the roll?
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons. Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Dixon.
Mr. President, that's all we have tonight under Planning and Zoning.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Health, Safety, and Welfare, and Mr. Hannon?
Mr. President, we have no items under health, safety, and welfare this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Hannon. Are there any additional items?
I do have
Ms.
one.
Gibbons?
This morning, there was a presentation at the community center about the coyotes in Bethel Park. The Game Commission did this presentation. It will be on Channel 7. I do not have a date or a time yet for when this presentation will be on, but if you check our website, there will be a link to that presentation.
Thank you very much. Any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance, and Ms. Gibbons?
There are no agenda items.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbons. Any additional items?
Mr. Murray, President Murray.
Yes, sir.
I'd like Sean Arbar to briefly explain, there's supposed to be some signal work on the Port Authority crossing on Sarah that's going to affect the Ward 1 residents.
Yes, that is correct. They're doing some improvements on the Sarah Street intersection, actually 3 crossings within Bethel Park. The Lidle Station crossing, the Mesta Street crossing, and then the Sarah Street crossing. And what they're really doing are adding automobile pedestrian alarms required by the federal government. That's one of the reasons they're doing a lot of these traffic improvements at these intersections. Also some different signage, do not stop on the tracks, some emergency notification signs, so if you see an issue, you'll have a number and a street address to report any kind of issues you see. Also railroad warning signs and stop on red signals. They're also going to restripe the pedestrian walkways in that area.
Thank you, Sean.
No problem.
Magna. Any other discussion? Is there a meeting?
Move we
motion to
adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourning. Good night, everyone. You guys picked a great meeting to come to.